Intro to Harmony, Part 2, in cooperation with the Communications Department, the Broadcasting Department, and the Music Department of Briarwood College. We'd like to welcome you to Part 2 of this segment. Hello, I'm Tom Zarecki again. For those of you from outer space, not part of the class, and you've just stumbled across this, that's fine. There's plenty of music we'll be talking about, and I'll be directing you exactly to some very specific songs so you can learn more about harmony. That's what we're studying in this chapter and in this article, about harmonies and how they add depth to a song and how they become the meat of music. In this segment, well, first of all, if you listened in the last video, you just finished watching Extreme, Huey Lewis, and Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and how in each case the singers were harmonizing with each other. Now in this segment, we have Bananarama we're going to be playing. We're also going to be playing Chick Corea, some jazz music, and some classic ballads, one classic ballad from Billy Joel as well. We'll talk about each of those, but just let me bring up another term, definition we haven't mentioned in the last chapter, in the last video, which was rhythm. We talked about it, but I didn't define it again just to make sure you remember it. The rhythm is the instruments that are creating a song's tempo or the beat of a song make up the song's rhythm. Now remember, we're studying the melody, harmony, and rhythm of music. If melody is the face of the music that everybody can identify most, the hook, the most singable part of a song, and the rhythm is the backbone, the rhythm structure of it that puts the song together, the harmony that we're studying in this chapter is the meat or the muscle that gives the depth to those songs. And as we said before, harmony is one or more additional musical lines that are happening simultaneously while the melody is going on. So you have either instrumentalists or vocalists singing along with the melody. Now the melody doesn't necessarily have to be sung either. The melody can be sung, as you heard in the last 3 videos, all singers harmonizing with each other, but it doesn't have to be that way. But let's stop for just a second and talk about, if you're going to talk about harmony, you also have to talk about, it's not really the opposite of harmony, but when there is no harmony, but there's a lot of music playing, quite often the music is played where is it? Well, you know, I could have sworn it was here. It is. Unison. Right here. Sorry. Unison is when everybody is singing or playing the melody. I wanted to bring that sign up just to point out that in unison songs, everyone sings the same notes. Best example, Happy Birthday. I won't sing Happy Birthday. We've all sung it for our relatives. Everybody gathers around whether you want to or not. They light the candles. Everyone sings Happy Birthday to you. The most sung song in all of history, by the way, in all of Western music, is that song, Happy Birthday. There's a link in the article that goes to the history of Happy Birthday, if you're interested. But in Happy Birthday, everybody sings the same notes. Sometimes, if somebody has a little too much to drink, or if they think they're musically inclined, they'll try to harmonize at the end of Happy Birthday some other notes that are not the melody. But mostly people sing in unison to Happy Birthday. Just like Happy Birthday is our first of the next 3 videos we're going to hear. It doesn't sound like Happy Birthday, but it's from a group called Bananarama. Bananarama is 3 girls. They're a pop group. And all of the instruments behind them are completely made up by synthesizers. If you hear trumpets, it's not trumpets. It's a synthesizer. If you hear guitar, if you hear rhythm, it's not those. It's synthesizers. They're a pop band, and there's nothing wrong with pop bands because they have a very singable melody. But in this case, Bananarama are 3 girls, all of whom are singing the same notes. They are not harmonizing with each other. They are singing in unison. Everyone is singing and playing the melody in that case. And what you'll be hearing is this song right here called I Heard a Rumor from Bananarama. Here are our study notes for that. You'll be listening for 3 girls. They're all singing the same notes, all the melody. There are no harmonies at all within the vocal parts. The instrumentation is almost entirely synthesized on a keyboard. And that's in that song, I Heard a Rumor. Next, we'll be hearing from jazz legend Chick Corea, one of the purveyors of a style called jazz fusion. It started in the mid-'70s, late 60s, through the 70s, and on through today. And it's a very unusual style of jazz because it's very difficult to play. Not that all music is hard or easy, but in jazz fusion, quite often, a lot of the musicians are playing exactly the same notes at the same time in a very frenzied, fast, out-of-control rhythm. And you'll hear that in this song from Chick Corea. In fact, I don't know the song. I found this. It's a great example, though. It's only a song excerpt, about a minute and a half, of Chick Corea that plays with his band, and you'll be hearing multiple artists. Nobody sings. It's all instrumentation, all playing in unison. In fact, if I can find my notes here, right here, in the Chick Corea song, you'll be listening for this unison melody going by really fast, and the instruments are changing off. After the first 5 or 6 seconds, you'll hear a keyboard. You'll see the keyboard player and the guitarist. They're playing together, but they're not harmonizing. They're playing in unison, the same notes. How they do this, you may have to watch this a few times. And when you realize they're playing exactly the same notes in this complicated rhythm, you go, man, how can they do that? And then the guitar player stops and lets the sax player play with the keyboard guy, and they're playing the same notes together, the saxophonist and the keyboardist. Lots of harmony is going on behind that melody with the other instruments that are going on. But in that case, there are no voices at all. And finally, we'll be playing Billy Joel, A New York State of Mind. This song quickly became a rock classic, and then an easy listening classic, and then it ultimately became the quasi-theme for the State of New York Travelers Visitors Bureau, tying in with their campaign, A New York State of Mind, which is the name of this song. Billy Joel wrote the song, he wrote the lyrics, and then wrote the music, and then orchestrated the whole thing. So what you're going to hear now is one voice, but where the harmonies come from? They come from everything else. Because Billy Joel's a piano player, he gets to use one of the best instruments for harmonization, and that is a piano, because a piano can play multiple notes at once. Think about it. If you're playing the trumpet, you only can play one note at a time. Flute player, clarinet player, saxophone, only one note at a time. A violin player, cello player, can play maybe 2 or 3 strings at a time, so at least they can harmonize with themselves. Piano player, you've got 10 fingers. A pipe organ player has 10 fingers plus 2 feet, so you actually can play 12 notes at once and harmonize with a singer or with yourself. So keyboard instruments like a xylophone, pipe organ, or piano have the ability to harmonize much more dramatically than a single instrument like a trombone, a tuba, clarinet, or for that matter, a human voice, which can only sing one note at a time. So in A New York State of Mind, you're only going to hear one voice. It's Billy Joel's, and he's singing the melody, but everything else is harmony. The notes he's playing on the piano are harmonizing with his melody, and everybody else in the orchestra is harmonizing with his melody as well in this last lush song that you're going to hear called The New York State of Mind. And for those people that are looking for the location of these pages, you go right over here. You go to hubpages.com. Those people in my class are already there. You don't have to do anything. Search for Great Harmony in the text box in the upper right. The full article is called Great Harmony, The Meat of Music by Tom Z. And that's it for this segment. So play those 3 music videos. That's it for me for this chapter. We'll come back in the next chapter. Don't forget our midterm is on Monday, June 30th. Now, of course, if you're watching this, it may be 20 years from now. So forget all that if that's the case. But if you're planning on taking a midterm, it is at 4 o'clock on the 30th. We'll see you in class for then, and I'll email you with information about what you need to know, but it's primarily melody, harmony, rhythm. I'm going to be playing examples. You'll be writing about each of them. I think you'll have fun in this particular midterm because we'll use it as another lecture time in person as well. So play the 3 videos now, enjoy them, and we'll see you later.